fall.
You're live.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to committee meeting. This morning is Parks and Cemetery. It is Friday, February 9th. Present today, Councilman Schuyler and Councilman Schramm, Parks and Cemetery Supervisor Marty Peterson, and appointed officials, Public Works Director Troy Kruger, City Attorney Paul Jensen, and Finance Officer Shannon Phillips. I'm going to turn this over to Troy or Marty. I'll let you guys work us through your agenda. One thing we have in front of us is an invoice for a vent track, and I know a lot of people are excited about that.
Well, you can go ahead and tell them about your vent track. You had the discussion. This piece of equipment, by the way, does fall under, we can get the government pricing on it, but it also kind of falls under proprietary equipment where we have a vent track and we have a lot of attachments for it. I think we actually have 6 now.
Yeah, I think so.
For the current Ventrec, and then this one would be coming with 3. So the 2 machines can swap out attachments, but go ahead and tell them what your salesman told you.
Yeah. We just got it set up for this ball field equipment, adding some features to the tractor, to hydraulics and stuff, but the ball field equipment, they had some demo stuff. The salesman had it in Lincoln, Nebraska, and give it to us at a little discount. He said they demoed it probably 10 times. So I said, well, heck yeah, we'll take that. And then when they deliver it, this guy's gonna come up in the spring and give us a tutorial on it and stuff. So then, you see we got a 6-foot deck on there. I upgraded that to an 8-foot deck because of the discounts of the demo, so. And,
Budgeted for it, correct?
oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, this come in like 10,000 under what we have.
Now, if I'm reading this right, it looks like it's approved for Sourcewell,
Yeah.
but yet I don't see the Sourcewell indication on a couple of these, on the groomer and on the renovator.
This is a quote, not an invoice, I guess. but-
Oh, I understand that. I'm just making sure whether or not we're okay under our policy to,
The attachments may not fall under Sourcewell.
Okay.
The machine itself may, but most of the attachment, then the attachments just become, like I said, proprietary.
right, right.
They only work on that machine.
Well, we need to, now, it's gonna be under the bid requirements, so I'm not worried about that. I'm mainly looking at complying with our own policies on that. And from the standpoint of the machine itself, probably doesn't fall within the concept of proprietary as that is defined under our state statutes. Our system doesn't depend on it. It's just that we have other machines like it that we could swap stuff with. That's probably doesn't make that. But
No,
if it's Sourcewell, we're okay, as long as we're buying it under a Sourcewell.
So the machine itself falls under Sourcewell. We can purchase the machine through Sourcewell.
Correct.
But the attachments are proprietary to that machine because
To
they
that
only
machine.
work on that one machine.
Sure. And like I say, I'm not concerned about the bid law problem because we're under the bid laws. So,
Other updates for you, I guess, in Parks and Cemetery, we ordered the lights for Leahy Bowl.
Stop a second. I want to go back to this. There is some stuff that you indicate at the bottom that is Sourcewell though.
Yep.
Like the hydraulic flip up and the mower RD. So 38,000 of this is all under Sourcewell, to clarify.
Yeah, the machine itself is.
That leaves about $11,000 in attachments that we need for the equipment, but the only thing that works are these that are proprietary to that. So are we, the Sourcewell covers the machine in the bottom section. The other attachments in section 2 and section 3, those all fall underneath bid laws. They fall in the quote laws, but because they're proprietary, we won't need quotes. We'll just need a letter from this company saying that these are all proprietary. These are the only ones that'll work on this unit.
Does this company have exclusive area here, or
Yeah,
are
they
there
have-
other Ventrac dealers that cover our area?
The guy that we go through is got a territory, which Winter falls under.
So he's got an exclusive.
I can't say that
I
it's
think so.
exclusive.
But you'd need to know that. would you not?
Let's find out from him. If he does, great. If he doesn't, then we need to cover this base. We would need something in writing to verify that.
What are we getting in writing?
The fact that this is, because in order to avoid the necessity of getting additional quotes, we're assuming that this is proprietary. Okay, it's proprietary to the machine, but it's not proprietary
There might be
to,
another company that sells the same equipment for that machine.
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well-
and that's where I'm coming from. We've got
Then that
two
would-
two
that
of
would-
these areas here that are not.
They're demoed though, so that would take said we would take the demo equipment, so he's not gonna, I'm not gonna be able to get a quote from another, because another salesman is gonna say, well, I'm gonna sell it to you, that piece of, that attachment, I'm gonna sell it to you brand new. This was kind of like he had this stuff down in Lincoln, it's in his, under his watch, I guess, or he's got the equipment, and he told us he'd give it to us at a discounted price, so if I go out and get quotes on it, it's quite a savings. But if I go out and get quotes from another Ventrac dealer for the same equipment, we're not gonna get the discounted price because it's not gonna be demo.
But that way you would.
Then this guy wins the bid.
I was gonna
Or
say,
so to
you,
speak.
you've then satisfied the requirement to bring in additional quotes, knowing full well that he's still gonna be the low quote.
Paul, I actually tend to disagree with you a little bit on the fact that it is without, it falls under, not under 50,000. His equipment is 50,000.
Right.
This is the total purchase of the equipment. It's all coming on the same invoice. It is all one piece of equipment, even with all the attachments.
Right.
That is how the state defines that.
And I'm told here it's $49,000.
Oh, I have 50.
I got 49,746 with the deck.
Yeah, that's what I have.
I was going less than 50, that's why I said what I
Oh,
did.
sure. No, I see the total, it does show at 54,900.
Yeah, if we go over 50,000, then obviously we're no longer under the bid law.
Yeah,
There's ways around it, I
there's a
agree.
guys up in
We
Brookings
have
that
to sort it out.
buys Ventracs. Does he buy from this guy?
I don't know.
I'll find out. It's no big deal. If I have to get quotes on the attachments, I'll get quotes on the attachment, but, I don't want to miss out on the demo price because that's a pretty good deal. That's almost
Understand.
$10,000 in savings.
Am I correct that we're under the
last time for the first
50,000?
one.
It's 49 something?
Yes.
Probably not, since I upgraded the deck.
Oh, so we'll be over 50.
So this number in front of us isn't the accurate number?
Yeah, it's probably, the
Bottom number.
The deck is probably 2,000 more, the 8-foot deck. I can look real quick on the. See, I never thought of any of that. Yeah, it's 7. So 1,500. Yeah, that does. I screwed that up.
So you're gonna be over 50,000.
Okay.
But we're-
6-foot
we're-
deck will work.
Well.
So we're still
because
purchasing,
I have questions about getting an 8-foot deck with as unlevel as our fields are. Will we have skinning
got
problems like
float,
we do at the, does the 8-foot deck float?
yes, it's
So we won't have the same problem we have out the cemetery?
No, they float.
in
okay.
three pieces. It's got,
No, this is one deck.
the deck itself floats on the front of the machine. It's got,
It's got anti-scalp wheels on it and everything.
That answers my question, yep. Because sometimes you can get too big a deck and you cut it 2 inches here and half an inch here.
So the mayor had, I think, the solution here. If we bought it with the 6-foot deck this year, and then look at replacing that 6-foot deck a year from now, if you want to.
well, even if you buy it and if it goes over 50, you're still using Sourcewell, so we're still satisfying the bidding requirements.
Not, correct me if I'm wrong, Chandra, but I don't think this qualifies for the individual pieces as being proprietary.
That's the way we bought it last time, I know that. So,
But we were under the bid limit last time.
no, the last machine we bought was actually more expensive than this one.
Yeah, it was.
It was
Was it?
50,
a lot.
57,000.
And this one is
Yeah, like almost
I would have to
60.
look
it's
that up.
about 20,000 less.
I mean, if they
than what
gave
we
us a
paid
letter that said
3
that
years
the
ago.
entire machine was Sourcewell, that's what we would have gone after, but again, that's what our auditor.
And that's probably what it was, instead of having, this is now coming in as a demo, which then gives us the discount. Maybe the entire machine was Sourcewell. That's probably true.
Now I'm confused, so what do you want me to do?
Okay.
Call that a Boston for us to start there.
No, I think here's kind of where I'm at. If your dealer would put something in writing for us that says we could spec the entire machine for Sourcewell, it would actually cost more because we're giving you a discount with the demo. If we have something showing that, that brings us in line for these two attachments that right now don't say anything about Sourcewell. That's where I'm coming from. So if the dealer would certify that they would, that if Sourcewell was providing those two attachment prices as well, but they would be more than what we're being quoted here because these are demos, then we've got something that ties those two pieces into a Sourcewell compliance. You agree with that?
I do. And the biggest thing to look at it the same as a capital improvement project. I'll use Halfway House. I'm sure all aware that was written into an audit report that we picked it apart in order to not be under bid laws.
Right.
Ultimately, that's what an auditor would look at and say, you picked it apart to not fall under bid laws.
Right. And I can get together with you and call the dealer, because that'll help.
I'll call him and have him,
Or I can write it down for you what I'm looking.
no, I understand what you want
Do you?
now.
Okay.
Can we clarify something?
I was just going off the way we purchased the last machine.
Okay.
I want to clarify something. Bid laws on the equipment are 50,000, but if something is costing 65,000 and it's available through Sourcewell, it's already been bid out.
Correct.
Yeah. So in this case, the Sourcewell portion of this is 40.
You paid $41,000 for the last one, by the way.
That was just the machine.
And
Then you had to put the attachments on it.
those came later. So they were not on the same invoice, so that's how we got away from it.
So to clarify, the 40 or 39,000 is Sourcewell. The equipment, which is a letter, the add-on pieces is a letter saying these are proprietary add-ons to this. That would work? Is that what I heard?
Yeah.
I think it would.
Yes.
And that they're under the Sourcewell bid, which
Correct.
if you're less than the Sourcewell bid, that is good.
Yeah, if the Sourcewell price for the entire unit, including these attachments, is higher than this quote,
Well, let me go this route.
which I'm guessing it would be.
Let me call the dealership, make sure that, number one, verify that if he has a territory.
Yep.
If he does not have a territory, then we can, then I'll ask him, the next question I'll ask him is if he can Sourcewell the entire machine and
Attachments.
the attachments. If they don't do that, then we would have to go the route of just separate invoices, buy the machine off the, off of Sourcewell, which is, it's still gonna fall under the 50,000. So you can either get quotes or you can go, we can go that way with it. But then we could also quote out each individual attachment.
Yeah, and I'm not worried about staying under the 50,000 if it's Sourcewell.
Right.
If
If it's not, if
Sourcewell,
we
we
don't,
can go.
if we use Sourcewell, then we don't have to go out, get quotes on it.
Correct.
Or go out to bid with it. So,
No, I think there's definitely a way around this easily.
But the way I just understood it, if we get the 8-foot deck, we're not under 50, correct?
Then we go over 50.
And then we have to have everything on Sourcewell.
Correct.
Okay,
if the attachments qualify.
okay.
I'll find all that out.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we go back to the 6-foot deck and we're stay under 50 completely. Is that
Well-
correct thinking?
That's an option. I mean, that was just one thing that was mentioned as an option.
Because you thought the deck was 2,000, right? So even
Because
if
if
we
we're
do,
staying under 50,000, we don't have to worry about.
the
source
bottom
code.
number though was 54, so if you take 2,000 away from that, still 52,000.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the bottom is, oh, okay.
If you see, you
Where the
know,
hell does the 49 come from?
I don't know.
No wonder I'm so confused.
Where are you seeing 54?
49 is the package price of the whole, it's on the bottom
oh,
of the
that's
sheet.
49, that's, oh, that's a
Okay,
dollar
Brad, you and I
sign.
were looking
You're
at it
right.
wrong. We could not read it correctly.
Yes.
I thought that was a 5.
I did
and a
too.
dollar sign.
Yeah,
That
it's a
49
dollar
is-
sign. Correct.
46.
No, I had 49,746.
Yes, that is the
46
correct
cents.
price. That is the
You
way
need
he
both.
quoted
That's
us with the
fine.
6-foot deck.
Okay,
With the
but with an
6,
8-foot deck, it's
I thought 46 was written
$1,500 more,
twice.
Correct,
which then puts us
You
over
know
the
what I'm
50.
saying?
correct.
Okay. So what do you want to do?
I'll do what Paul just discussed. I'll see what options we have. If he can source well the whole package with all the deck, with the decks and all the ball field grooming material, then we'll go that route, because that satisfies us, that makes us legal under the bidding laws of South Dakota, under bidding laws. So if we can do it as a package deal, if he can't throw the package together all in Sourcewell, then we will go Sourcewell on the machine, and I will call around and we will get quotes on the attachments. And we should be legal.
sure, yeah. And again, that assumes you're going with that 8-foot deck.
Correct.
Because if you took the 6-foot deck, you're gonna be under 50,000, so.
But it doesn't change anything,
The deck is 5,000.
because we're still using Sourcewell for the bidding
An
process.
8-foot deck is 7,000.
Yeah.
My gut tells me this just, to make this work, we're gonna buy a 6-foot deck. Ultimately, next year, you're gonna come back and want an 8-foot deck, and we'll spend 7,000 more. This is a waste of taxpayer dollars for $2,000. If this fits in here, we would save ourselves 5,000 over that scenario to make this work right now. Rather than trying to find.
Yeah. And I think we can get there one way or the other.
Yeah, I don't think the 8-foot deck or the 6-foot deck really plays into the picture at all, because if it's over $4,000 as a piece of equipment, I have to get 3 quotes on it anyways to make a purchase. So that would satisfy your bidding. So I mean, it's legwork either way you look at it. Sure. It's actually quicker to go through Sourcewell, so if the machine qualifies for Sourcewell, which we know that, but if the attachments don't, then we'll call around and get quotes on the attachments.
Right.
If the whole thing falls under Sourcewell, then that's even easier yet, but I'll get with the guy and we'll get it figured out.
But a key question to that guy is, does he have a protected territory? Because then you're not gonna be able to get
Right,
quotes, and you won't need them.
right,
Yeah.
yep. Which I
I
think he
would say
does.
90% that's the fact.
It's usually,
That he has a protected
Protected
territory.
Yeah.
Oh, I agree.
I would,
Not better right there.
Definitely
Yeah.
agree with that. And that solves your problem.
That's
does it
what we
not?
need then.
Yeah.
That's all we need. 'Cause then
okay.
it's proprietary.
Any more questions about a lawnmower?
Well, it's an expensive lawnmower. We should be entitled to a few questions.
That's why I brought it up.
That's right.
But really, when you think about it, it's only 3 times as much as them little damn snappers that ain't any good. For those grasshopper things that we have.
Oh, those are brand new, those are for the machine, they're, a brand new grasshopper right now is $27,000.
Is it 20? Oh my God, I thought they were 15, yep.
They haven't been 15
I think
for,
the last one
12
we
years.
bought were 16 or 18.
And that was what, 3 years ago, and we got a
good deal.
weird deal on it because we bought 3 at a time, and not all of them had baggers. 'cause we
Yeah,
traded the
that was-
tractor.
Yeah, I traded a tractor with it too.
All right.
We ordered lights for the Lady Bowl, so we'll get those changed out, weather permitting. Marty started installing the batting cage.
I just got it marked out.
Okay.
We got the snow melted off the,
They called in one call, so I thought you were
yeah, that did.
hard at it. And then the grant, I talked to the guy yesterday.
What, please?
Grant.
the Bailey's grant.
Okay,
So I called him up yesterday, and just a few things is, and it was my mistake,
The mulch?
the mulch.
Yep.
Rich had a quote that
Saw
he
that.
submitted to that guy that I never saw, but it has to be wood fiber
Yep.
for the handicap accessible. And then on the border that we're putting around the playground equipment, we actually have an ADA ramp that we didn't use, and so I was just gonna use that, but he said, no, you requested it, so it needs to be in the bid.
Oh, okay.
And all, the way that was worded is it's just the border and then plus ADA,
ADA ramp.
ADA access ramp, just
Okay.
at the end of the border.
Yep.
So that's all we gotta do is just.
What about the border around? There was some discussion about whether that should be concrete.
That was just a suggestion by him.
Okay, nothing we need to change.
No,
Okay, good.
he just thought it would, he said he saw it in another municipality, and they had put a concrete sidewalk around the playground equipment for access for strollers and whatnot, but that was
Okay.
it was just it was a suggestion by him.
Okay.
as opposed to a gravel or recycled material?
Yeah, we have peat rock down there, chip seal rocks, mostly what we have down there, but
Yeah.
we do have some concrete work to do this spring. So, I mean, it wouldn't be a big deal to add a sidewalk in down there. We gotta fix the sidewalk around the restrooms and the concession stand. They're starting to heave and move.
Yep. Because I bet that P-rock or even the asphalt stuff, pushing a stroller on it would be tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I got. You got anything?
Nothing.
Hockey rink.
It's dry.
I was gonna give an update on the hockey rink. The warm weather melted all the ice, the water all ran out. The ground underneath is not frozen. So, I don't know what about the hockey rink. We gave it a shot. It wasn't we found out that the location's not gonna work. If this is something that the city wants to pursue, we need to spend some time and some thought, put some thought into it. And we need a level piece of ground. And then, kind of plan there.
Tennis courts aren't level?
No.
No.
I'm sorry,
It's-
what?
The tennis courts aren't level?
No.
That sounds like a problem in itself.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Actually, the basketball court that it's on, I would say there's probably from the north side to the south side about a 4-inch drop.
Wow.
East.
It's very, very unlevel, but, appreciate Steve's generosity and lining that up for us. I guess to date, not including man hours, we probably have $1,500 to $1,700 invested in that, just paint, bolts, boards. So
Tarp.
the city we put a legitimate effort into it. We got everything all painted up, was working correctly. It wasn't set up. We didn't use all the panels because we didn't have quite enough room for it, so that's the other issue. If we do try it again next year, like I said, we gotta have a level piece of ground. It's gotta be level. And the tarp that we tried this year, it just really didn't work. I guess my next suggestion would be to bowl an area out, make, so it's got a little bit of a berm, and then use bentonite clay and flood it that way. Bentonite is a product that they use in water and
Yep.
wastewater lagoons, and it's
Prevent saturation.
yeah, it'll hold water. As long as it stays wet, it'll seal up and it'll hold water, but
And if we can get it somewhere where we can flood it and then let it freeze over time, rather than,
Yep. So, because my first thought is that lot where the skating rink used to be, just north of the fire hall. I don't even know if that's level or flat or what, but that's an area that we might want to, there's a lot of areas we could consider. The old softball field on First Street. relatively flat, but that's just from the eye, and my
Yeah.
eyes are no good, and I agree with you, Troy, we need to find a spot, set it up each year. When it's not cold, it's not cold, there's nothing anybody can do about that.
Not unless you use a freezer to freeze it.
Yeah, but, have you seen our electric bills? Yeah. We can't afford to freeze it, I don't think.
I know they've tried rinks in the past. Dr. Tobin up there had one, and that was short-lived too.
Yeah. Even the one in Sioux Falls has been there every year in Sherman Park. I was just there Tuesday, and they didn't put theirs up this year, and I wonder if they thought it wasn't gonna be cold enough to freeze. Because Sioux Falls has had that there, for as long as I can remember, that one at the softball complex.
Yeah, there's more than one in Sioux Falls. I know there's one right there
I'm
by,
just talking about
there's
this
one there
one.
by the USF campus. There's one over there. There used to be one down at,
There's a brand new one at Augustana,
yeah.
Yeah.
indoors.
Well, that's where everyone's going.
Yeah,
I mean, that stuff's open to the public sometimes, so.
yeah.
But no,
Well,
I
and
just,
the Iceplex has 3 rinks in it, but that's huge money, we're not ready for that here. But I think, we carefully take care of the one that Mr. Steinke gave us and use it next year. I mean, we have nothing to do with how cold the air gets. We can't control that, but try setting it up next year, and like you say, find a spot where you can build a berm to hold the water. And if that takes $5,000 to do that, I think that's worth the effort.
yeah, we got to do something. I mean, it was a lot of man hours involved too. It's the first time we did it. We didn't,
Yeah.
I mean, these guys didn't know what,
Yeah,
they've never
we,
set one up, so a lot of it was trial and error,
Our
but
trial and error was out there doing it, yeah.
Yeah,
we know now. So,
and it's still set up now?
yeah,
Yeah, it's still there.
yeah.
It's too muddy to get it out of there. We could take it apart, stack it up, but,
Yeah.
that's handling stuff twice, so we'll just wait.
Yep, I agree. Just leave it there till it's time to put it away and bring it out next year. That's what I think, and I don't think Mr. Steinke should be, I would hope he wouldn't be upset if we weren't able to use it this year.
I know. Unless he knows something we don't know about making ice, but
Well,
I know
we
it's
made
got-
hard ice there for a
I know it's got to
while.
be below 32 degrees. No, I think it was good. We got to see it up, and I think they got, boy, when it got cold, so that was kind of the other thing but it only had ice for like 8 days.
Yeah.
But I think Marty's right too. The other, if you're gonna do it, we should really think long and hard about the location and the accessibility for vehicles and people. And like you said, it's just a muddy mess down there with the foot traffic, just from the kids coming out of school and just looking at it and playing around it. And it's kind of tearing up that area of the park. So we need to, if you guys want to do it again, we need to put some thought into it and where to put it, and then vehicle access, foot traffic, and picnic tables to sit down and put your skates on, a restroom. We have some of that stuff in the park, in McDonald's Park up there around that loop. I don't know, just something to think about. We tried it. I don't think it's gonna be worth flooding it again this year, or,
I would agree with that, yeah. Have you only filled it one time though? Did you have the fire trucks come, or what'd you do?
No, there's a hydrant out there. We flooded it with a hydrant. And
Yep.
then once we got ice, then we went out there on one of them 7 below days and sprinkled more on it.
Yep,
It was cold.
yep. Your manual Zambonis?
Yeah.
Yeah.
the weed burner.
Pardon me?
The weed burner.
Yeah,
We took the weed burner and melted all of the rough spots, so they smoothed out, and then it all froze again. But you had to keep moving or you'd freeze in one spot.
yep.
That's all I got.
Okay.
You got Adam's number?
I think it's on the quote, ain't it?
Yep.
I noticed he put our winter logo.
So
on
if
it.
all the
I see
paperwork is
that.
right on this thing, he's just gonna order it, if you're satisfied
As long as the committee's okay with
with
that,
the
why
bid
not?
stuff? That's my question.
Yeah.
I think that was the intent.
We shouldn't have to wait